Ms. O'Connell and Ms. Simmons, according to the Washington Post political appointee tracker, an average of 4 in 10 Biden nominees have been waiting on Senate confirmation. This is not uncommon. Every recent president has experienced delays, but the delays just appear to be getting longer and longer. The time it takes for Congress to confirm presidential nominees has been growing during every single administration since President Ronald Reagan. You both mentioned several causes for delays when you presented your testimony to us. What do you believe, however, are the most significant reasons for these delays? And what actions from Congress should we consider to address them? And maybe give me a priority or two, what you think is really significant that we should be thinking about. So we'll start with Ms. Simmons, and then Ms. O'Connell, if you would respond as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. From the perspective of the partnership, the sheer volume makes it very challenging and contributes to just a greater bottleneck. So we would encourage fewer positions, as stated in my testimony. We think it would allow the Senate to focus on positions that most warrant your review and scrutiny, and it would make the best use of the Senate's time. We also think the process is extremely complicated as a result of the very challenging paperwork. And all of the paperwork serves a purpose, and it is meaningful with respect to adjudicating issues in someone's background, financial conflicts. But the questions that are asked are inconsistent, confusing, and it is very common for paperwork to go through multiple rounds and corrections because it's very difficult for nominees to get it right the first time. So there's a great amount of delay that occurs before the Senate even gets the nomination because there's so much involved in preparing the package that comes to the Senate. So we think simplifying the paperwork would also contribute to a more efficient and expedient process.
Thank you. Ms. O'Connell?
Thank you, Chairman. I think the two biggest reasons for these increasing delays on the Senate side, and there are delays on the White House side as well there. The first, I agree with Ms. Simmons from the partnership that just the sheer number of positions and the amount of time each position takes in terms of the vetting process has slowed it down. And so in terms of reform, I do think that the most important thing that Congress could do would be to cut the number of Senate confirmed positions. But I think what happens in its replacement is critical. So in the Streamlining Act enacted in 2012, those approximately 170 positions went from Senate confirmed to president alone. And there were delays, right, even when it's just the president alone. And so I think giving a lot of thought to which of those positions could be done by heads of departments to help speed up the process as well. The second greatest reason I believe for the delays has to do with changing norms in the Senate. And so in earlier administrations, I'm thinking President Reagan, President George Herbert Walker Bush, President Clinton, the norm was, especially in the first year, that agency nominees were confirmed by unanimous consent. And that, since President Clinton, doesn't happen anymore. And it's not because, in the end, the votes are close. So if you look at the recorded votes of President Biden's nominees through February 19th, over half of the recorded votes, there are more than 60 votes to confirm. But I think now a vote on an assistant secretary, and this is true both for Democrats and for Republicans, is a sign of party fealty. And so kind of the cooperative norms that existed don't exist in the same way. And so that is contributed as well. Now, in terms of reform there, I hesitate in terms of recommendations to changes in Senate rules, but to the extent that the Senate could establish some more cooperative norms, at least on a subset of critical nominations, say in the national security space, that would also be helpful.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for the answer. I'm going to ask you another question, both of you, and we'll start with you again, Ms. Simmons. Under the Appointments Clause of the Constitution, Congress has the right to determine which positions require Senate confirmation. So if we're going to reevaluate these positions that require the confirmation, you please tell the committee what criteria or factors do you recommend that we consider if we go down this path? Ms. Simmons, if you'd start.
Sure, I'm happy to. Thank you for that question. And we strongly believe that every position should be evaluated by the Senate to determine whether it is a principal officer or an inferior officer. Titles themselves do not tell you a lot. There is a variety of responsibility assigned to different positions. Some assistant secretaries are Senate confirmed, some are not. But we recognize that there is a great opportunity to look at assistant secretaries and make a determination and perhaps start with the presumption that they do not need to be Senate confirmed, particularly if they are reporting to another appointee who's more senior, who is subject to Senate confirmation. That's a basic test of the Supreme Court, whether a position is under the supervision and direction of another Senate confirmed leader. And we think that is an important place to start, and obviously would support ensuring that you have the control and accountable officials that you need to do your jobs.
Thank you. Ms. O'Connell?
So functionally, we've already cut the number of Senate confirmed positions with the vast use of acting officials and delegations of authority. But the choice has been in the White House's hands in terms of where those acting officials and delegations take place. So I support strongly the Congress taking an affirmative role, and the place that I would look to first, the working group after the Streamlining Act enacted in 2012 pointed out that around 30% of still remaining Senate confirmed positions are part-time positions, requiring under 60 days of service in a calendar year. And I think those are positions, many of those positions where Senate confirmation could be cut. So in that push, the Senate did in mid-December to get a bunch of nominees through. We saw several confirmations to these part-time boards, to the Barry Goldwater Scholarship Foundation, the Corporation of National Service, and those seem like places to look, in addition to the suggestions laid out in the longer Partnership for Public Service report.
Well, thank you. Ranking Member Portman, recognized for your questions.